say. So what better way for the people of Omaha, Nebraska to spend a snow day, a big blizzard snow day, than by watching Echo and reacting to it a little bit. Unfortunately, without y'all seeing the show itself or hearing anything, because I don't need Marvel and Disney coming after me. I make about $2 to $3 on average per video. That's not fighting with Disney money. But yeah, if you haven't heard already, Echo is part of the Marvel universe, and it's become the most popular show on Disney Plus and Hulu right now, apparently. And it stars a deaf actress, also a Native American actress. And yeah, people were wanting to know my thoughts, and I wanted to go check it out myself. I'm not a huge Marvel fan. I don't know what it is. I can't really get into Marvel all that much. But, of course I'm gonna watch something like this. So things I can tell you right off the bat and that I know that I'm already gonna like. Echo, also known as Maya Lopez, is played by a deaf and indigenous actor named Alaqua Cox. And hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm deaf myself. I apologize in advance. I cannot personally speak on how other Native Americans feel about Alaqua being casted in this, because I think she's from a different tribe. But as far as deafness goes, also the fact that Alaqua is also an amputee, the representation's good on that front, I want to say. The woman who plays her mother is also deaf. Her name is Katarina Servogo, and yeah, so that's been pretty nice. So you've got the deaf main character, and her mother's also deaf. So let's get this show on the road. Is that the phrase? Why did I forget the phrase? Yeah, let's get this show on the road, shall we? This signing is actually pretty in frame, which I'm pleasantly surprised about. I think the best signing I've ever seen in a TV show where things tend to be in framed are this close, and as far as movies go, actually A Quiet Place. Every other show I've seen seems to often have it like out of frame a lot. Now I'm not expecting every single piece of signing to be like in the frame, because you know you gotta see emotions from all the characters and stuff, otherwise it looks really weird in editing and stuff. But sometimes I question the decisions that are made in editing and filming. And I spoke too soon because now the signing is kind of all over the place in terms of framing. Why does this man have an interpreter? Is this her uncle? Why does the uncle have an interpreter? He looks like he can afford it. Are these interpreters actually interpreters, or are they actors? I imagine they're interpreters, but do they also act? You just randomly like called up some interpreters to come in and be like, hey, we need you. I imagine they were probably her interpreters, like offset too, not just for like in the show as her character or for her character. These two men are basically her babysitters for this assignment that she's being put on. Why they keep doing this, and okay, now finally they have a brain cell and they're deciding to try something else. Yeah, you can't just keep talking to someone, because it seems very clear that she's not a lip reader. So, you know, move to gestures. If you're gonna talk, at least do some gestures with it. Okay, have you ever seen that movie called Malignant? James Wan was involved in that. And you know that major fight scene, I think, in the police station is where it took place? And it's just this wild fight between the woman and just everybody else. That's what this fight is reminding me of, and I don't know why. For some reason, I keep thinking of Malignant when this scene is going on. Except there's not anything on the back of Maya's head. Okay, why doesn't this uncle know any ASL? I mean, I can appreciate that he gets an interpreter, because that's probably the most I've ever seen a non-signing family member do. Granted, he seems very, very rich, obviously, so he can afford to do that. But if you love this girl so much, why have you not learned to sign for her? Hawkeye's signing is cute. He disappeared already. The fact that he just randomly signed or fingerspelled boss instead of just signing boss, I don't know why I find that so funny. Of all words, I mean, that's what happens. You don't know a sign, you spell it out. I do that a lot still. I don't know, I just think it's cute and funny. And now all of a sudden the uncle knows how to sign something? The word family? Of course you do. Of course you do. That's the sign. Of course. We're family. Please don't kill me. Look, I'm signing for you. Please don't shoot me. I really want a bike like that. My ex used to ride bikes like that, and I always thought they were really cool. And I used to watch Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. I think all the Kamen Riders had like bikes or something. But Kamen Rider Dragon Knight was the one that really had me wanting a bike. I remember seeing on Facebook there was an article about Alaqua that was posted. And somebody in the comments was talking about how they weren't happy with the facial expressions in this. They thought that Alaqua Maya wasn't very expressive in her face. I mean, I don't see an issue with it. Alaqua is a very pissed off orphan. She's been through a lot and there's not really been a whole lot of good happening in her life. I'd be walking around with the RBF too, let's be honest. I think she's fine. I don't think Maya Lopez is supposed to be this really expressive character. I know she's deaf, and I know that deaf people are expressive. That's part of the language, you know, with ASL, but she's a pissed off orphan. What more do you want from her? Ah, yes, the uncle, Kingpin, Fisk, whatever his name is alive. That shocks me none. We need an antagonist, and of course he's going to be the ultimate antagonist. Okay, episode 1 is done, and the most unrealistic part of this show is not any of the Marvel superheroes, superpower, whatever things. It's that every single freaking family member has signed for her and seems to be really good at it. I mean, they sign with the style and personality of how hearing people who learn later in life or don't really use it a lot tend to. Also, I'm going to assume that all of these actors only just started learning for the show itself, so it makes sense. But the most realistic thing about this show is that every single family member, except for the uncle, besides the word family, is signing for her. Also, that some of these people remember it. They all remember it after like 20 years. Sometimes languages just stick to you. But yeah, that's the most unrealistic part. It's like Switched at birth. Everybody wanted to learn sign for Daphne, even her boyfriends. Unrealistic. Superheroes and superpowers and Sailor Moon would be real before everybody starts learning sign for their family member. Usually. But we're not here to get into the statistics of all that. Episode 2, here we go. Ah yes, the big flashing lights. I have a fire alarm. A visual fire alarm. It hurt. I don't have one for my door because I don't have guests. I like this Biscuit's cousin, and I like that he brought snacks. And I like that he brought some of my favorite snacks, like Funyuns. I love Funyuns. Someone came by to help me with my car and bring me a little bit of food because I haven't been able to get groceries. Funyuns was part of that. That bag was gone in like a day. I love Skully. He makes me laugh. And him siding behind the character's back. I love Skully. See, that's why you should learn ASL. That's one of the reasons why you should learn ASL. You can talk about people behind their backs. Not even necessarily about them, but if you want the person in front of them that's being annoying to go away, but you don't want to fight with them because you don't want to look bad in front of a customer, you just sign to tell them to go away. That drill scene is making me very queasy because all I can imagine is somebody stepping on it. It's like that scene in A Quiet Place where the mother walks down the stairs and she steps on the nail. I'm just imagining somebody walking and stepping on that drill. Oh, I don't like it. You've got shiny hands. Those are pretty. Alright, I don't trust anything that has a dog in it. Because if that dog dies, I'm gonna be very upset. Please don't let the dog die. And things go boom! Listen, I love Skully. He's my favorite. Skully's my favorite, and him patting himself on the back a little bit is so funny and so cute. Uh-oh, Bonnie. Bonnie's the best friend. Or the cousin, but also the best friend. Maya didn't want anybody letting Bonnie know that she's back. But now Bonnie knows. Because Biscuit can't keep his mouth shut. Poor Biscuit. He seems so innocent. Okay, episode 3, my coffee is very cold. You know, it's a shame about Vicky because he's kind of cute. He's probably gonna die, isn't he? Seems like it. Ooh, again, learning ASL is good because right now Henry is signing to Bonnie to leave without actually saying anything. You know, do the hidden ASL by your leg and then tell them to get out because he can't just say it with his mouth, otherwise the whole thing's blown. So now Bonnie knows something's going on and now she can leave. Or not, because she still got kidnapped. That was coming. We knew that was coming. And Bonnie and Maya are looking at each other. They know they exist. Uh-oh. And again, they're signing in secret. They can be quiet about it. Okay, it can be a little bit hard to be quiet about it because ASL can be dangerous and very noisy depending. But obviously they know they gotta be a little bit more quiet and not like smack things or clap very hard because sometimes your hands kind of clap when you're signing. But again, stuff like this, you can come up with a plan and they're not gonna hear you. Oh my gosh, she's gonna put... Oh, that had to hurt. That's gonna hurt. Oh, that black guy does not look pretty. Okay, here's my question. Do these enemies not know that Maya's deaf? Like the babysitters in the beginning just talking, like they didn't realize it, and now these other ones just talking. What are y'all doing? Like, why are you yelling for her? She can't hear you. I mean, I guess like hearing people are just obviously used to like yelling for people when they want their attention, but using the blaring of music to her advantage works really well. It's not gonna mess up her senses, so she could continue to concentrate. Granted, if it was loud enough for her to feel vibrations, possibly, it wouldn't have nearly of an effect as the hearing folks, because it's just so loud. Their ears are hurting, bass is booming, and whatever. They're gonna have a harder time trying to concentrate on finding her and stuff, because it's just so loud. I haven't been to an arcade in so long, and this fight scene is making me want to go to one. I want to play skee ball. The pie is cute. I imagine people watching this for the first time and hearing people being like, what is that? You should go look it up. Don Henley is saving the day. I have Eagles tickets for next month. Oh, that new prosthetic is so pretty. That's really pretty. That's stunning. I wouldn't want to fight in that. I wouldn't want to damage it. Oh. Hey, Uncle Kingpin. You're back. Alright, episode 4. I've seen the memes. And now, I gotta find out what those memes are about. I'm so curious. What is this ableist, mean ice cream man? The girl's pointing. She's trying to point to you. Why are you so mean to her? Okay, I would have slapped him around myself too, but that seems a bit excessive. Are you going to kill him? Maya coming in and doing a little kick, because how old is she in this? She's in elementary grade, I'm sure. Her little kick in comparison to Kingpin, like, beating the pulp out of him. Well, at least take an ice cream. Take the entire cart. Why would you just leave him without getting an ice cream? That would have been my last, like, trophy. Be like, you know what? I'm gonna get my little popsicle anyway. I'm gonna get my Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls popsicle and be on my way. In fact, I'm gonna get 2 or 3, or I'm gonna take the whole cart. And I'm not saying share them with other kids. Be selfish and keep them for yourself, but that was the worst decision ever made. No. Not the interpreter. I understand the meme now. Oh. I'm so sorry to every single interpreter that's watching this show. I'm sure that wasn't the representation you were all expecting to have. That makes sense though. That makes sense. I don't agree with it, but that makes sense. Oh no. The frickin' sign language discourse is gonna come back again. You know, the fake sign language gloves, or the whatever, you know, the kids in science and college were making gloves, and then everybody else started making their own gloves. And now here we are. Kingpin's got his own version with contacts and AI and... I mean, admittedly it looks cool in this, but I already know the discourse is coming back. I already know that it has. It's already happened because I've seen people talk about it on Twitter. Oh, here we go. I'm pretty sure I have a video on it if you want to know why it's so annoying. Anyhow, moving on. This man just said, I thought it was important that we communicate. You've had, what, 20 years to learn American Sign Language? You hired interpreters? You couldn't have hired one of them to help you? You know, before you... Well, at least we no longer have to look at these graphics again for the sign language. Never mind. No, ma'am. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare go back to New York City with this man until he learns ASL. Do not go back for any man that does not learn to communicate with you, especially family. I mean, you shouldn't be going with him anyways. He's bad news. But don't go back to that. Don't go back to him like that. You know why I'm 45 and alone? Because love is a sham and doesn't exist. Sorry, I got my heart broken a week ago. I'm a little... Yeah. Aw, Grandma. Grandma's so pretty. She just seems so comfy and cozy, and I kind of want her to give me a hug. Like, just wrap me up in a blanket and sit me down on the couch and just, like, sit and be quiet. I never had family like this, so I want it. Oh, okay, so I posted on Facebook like shortly after about the thing that happened with the interpreters, and my friend Sarah just said, well, that explains the interpreter shortage. Oh, thanks, Kingpin. You're the reason why we do not have accessibility in this country. Thank you. Oh, that's a pretty dress? I don't know what you call those things. It's a garment. It's a garment. I don't want to be disrespectful and say the wrong word. I'm sorry. That is a pretty piece of attire. Kingpin goes, I suspect you come to kill me. I don't know, dude. There's a gun in your face. If I do this, what do you think? Oh, she called him out about not signing, about not learning how to sign. As you should. Yeah, she got a point. You've known this girl for how long? It's been 20 something. So she's supposed to be like 28 now or something. At least mid-20s. And Uncle has never learned a single bit of American Sign Language. Except for like family. And some other sentences apparently. You've had so long. And I'm assuming you spent like 24/7 together. Like you live with her. She lives with you. But all you did was like hire interpreters. I mean, I love that. I love that. I mean, of course you had the money for it so you can do that. But how would you not, at the same time, at least learn the language even a little bit? Like even half of the knowledge that the cousins and the other families have, other family members. And I get the underlying thing, it's that he says that he loves her, their family, but at the end of the day, she's just been used as a pawn in his game. So that's the underlying like thing of it all. But still, I'm kind of surprised she hasn't taken out the contacts yet. And again, there's no interpreters around, I guess. But how long have you been having that thing in your eye? Have you been sleeping at all? I don't know what time it is now. Do you think Kingpin learned how to sign circle from The Circle, the TV show? Because they show you how to sign a circle. Do you think Kingpin watched The Circle when it came out and then that's how he learned? I prefer him with the patch off. I think it looks better. Like, the patch is really ugly in comparison to the cool looking scars on his face. Episode 5, here we go, and that's the finale. This is a very short series. Girl, what did the bird do to you? Birdie, the little bird. Girl, the little bird just minding his own business and just in the head with a rock from a slingshot. Crying to her mama because the bird is hurt. You hurt it. You hurt the bird. It's your fault. Okay, going back to the signing being a frame, I actually really like how they do it in this scene with the mother and Maya together having a conversation. It's like really clear and they backed away so that, you know, it's not like right, you know, at the edge. And you can see everything a lot clearly. And it's really nice. Mommy went bye-bye again. This man did not just say he tries to learn ASL for his niece. He ran into Grandma. Grandma's talking about her granddaughter. She doesn't know who he is. And he notices the little necklace, little I love you. And he says, I'm trying to learn ASL for my niece. Now she wants to take the contact up. Okay, this is a director's choice. What is this blurry edge around the lens here at the fairgrounds? I swear this lens wasn't used a lot. Or maybe it's an editing choice. Maybe it's a post-production choice. Why is it so blurry around the edges here at the fairgrounds? I don't like it. I don't. That's a choice. This whole entire time I've been wondering how Echo gets Echo as a name. And now finally we get an explanation. So finally it took 5 episodes and near the end to have somebody call her Echo. Or was she calling her Echo or was she just describing something? I don't know. This entire show does not help my mommy issues at all. They're so nice to each other. Her mom loves her. She loved her mom. I don't understand it. That dance looks fun. I would want to go to this little festival and see that. That's a fun dance. I don't like what this Zane man is up to. And I don't like what this Zane cat is up to. He's just trying to hide under some blankets. It's -20. Do you trust Biscuits with a weapon? I don't trust Biscuits with a weapon. Ooh, it's showtime! Finally. And now we're using Bonnie as an interpreter because there's an interpreter shortage. Kingpin got rid of them all. Oh god. Oh god, don't shoot Bonnie after now. I like how they're doing the indistinct or inaudible audio here so you get a feeling of how a deaf person would or wouldn't be able to hear it. Deafness is a spectrum. I had these hearing aids on. Things are going to be a heck of a lot more clear. If I didn't have these on, it would sound like a very low level, different language happening. So, ma'am, please do not punch Bonnie in the face again. I don't think she can handle that. Don't pull out that, trust me! Cause you punched her in the face and you gave her a nice thing right there. That is a monster truck as weapon of choice for biscuits. Hey, he seems to be able to drive, so I'll take that over giving him a gun. I don't know if I trust that man with a gun, I'm sorry. And that is a Fortnite rocket launcher. I miss playing Fortnite. And now what in the Sailor Moon friendship sequence power borrowing is happening here? That's nice though, that's making me emotional a little bit. And now he's just driving away. You just let him drive away. Not even a punch in the face, it's just, you've been healed. Bye. You're too nice. I'm too mean. Oh, she's coming to the cookout. That's nice. Can I have some? And it's over. That all kind of felt anticlimactic. Well, that's Echo. It's an okay show. I didn't dislike it, but I'm not over the moon about it. Again, it's nothing personal. I can't really get into Marvel. I don't know why. Like all the movies that I've seen, I've just been kind of okay. I think I'm officially a DC kind of girl, but it's definitely cool to see a deaf character, a deaf amputee, Native American character being played by an actual deaf amputee Native American person. I have never met or talked to Alaqua in real life, but a couple of my followers and some other mutual friends have mentioned that, you know, they've gone to school with her or they met her, you know, one way or another. So that's cool. You know, the deaf community is big, but it's also very small. So when things like this happen, you get really excited to see them. I have no idea if anything would be continued with this. I've never read the comics and, you know, whatever else. I don't really know what happens in the timeline. If they were to do more episodes with her, make a movie, I don't know, and she were to show up, then yeah, I would watch it. Cause I know people have been wanting me to watch Hawkeye because she's in Hawkeye as well, and I guess I could do that. But I at least have gotten through Echo, which seems to be the most important one because that's her show. Yeah, overall, I am pretty pleasantly surprised and pretty pleased with, again, the representation part, at least as far as the deafness goes, and, you know, having somebody who's also an amputee. So they know how one's gonna walk, how one's gonna kick, and, you know, do all of that because that's their life. You know, that's just how it goes. I like how the family in this, again, it's so unrealistic in real life for the most part because a lot of deaf children growing up to hearing parents, their hearing parents don't learn ASL for them. Their other family members don't really learn ASL for them. And I have yet to meet a friend besides maybe one who I don't talk to anymore because we've gone through different chapters now of our lives. And there's only one friend that didn't know ASL before me. Besides an ex, you know, started to learn ASL from me. So I like seeing that. That makes me very happy. So aside from Uncle Kingpin, you know, not wanting to learn ASL, which makes sense, especially, it's nice to see that. So she's not really completely struggling with that. She's got other things to be struggling about in that department. So I love that we have this kind of representation in a show like this, in such a big mainstream show with a big mainstream franchise, if you will, Marvel. It's like I mentioned in the Barbie video from earlier in the week, it's just so important to have this type of representation because, you know, when I was a kid, granted my circumstances a little bit different. I grew up mainstreamed. I didn't have access to deaf community or anything of that. People who did, you know, they're struggling to see that type of thing represented in mainstream media because society was like, no, we don't want to showcase that. We don't think that's a good idea. That's one feeling for them, and then it's another feeling for me as well. Me and my peers can feel similar in that regard, but we also have completely different feelings with that because we just grew up so different. And that's not a bad thing, it's just how it is. So it's really nice to see that, and I'm gonna be so happy, you know, for other kids to see this and be really, really happy. Whether they're deaf, whether they're amputees, Native American kids, one or the other, or all three even. So yeah, you know, good show, decent show, just not for me and my personal taste, because apparently I'm a decent girl. I don't know. But I think you should give it a try if you want to watch it, especially because, you know, we want more shows like this. We want more proper representation like this. And I know somebody's going to be like, well, it's acting. And I mean, okay, fine, whatever. But when you're not going to even give deaf actors a chance, which is really what happens, to do the one thing that they know, because it's an entirely different ball game when you have a deaf actor playing a deaf role, because they know how it's gonna go, whereas hearing people tend to not really get the mannerisms that are so important to that, at least when it comes to people who are like culturally deaf and grew up in culture and with ASL or sign language in general. Something like Sound and Metal is a little bit different because this guy is late deafened and he gets a cochlear implant and all of that. So that was a different scenario than something like this. But anyhow, go watch it. If you got Disney Plus or Hulu, whatever, go watch it. See if you can get a friend who might have it to give you their information if you don't have it. That's what I did. And yeah, let me know what you think down below. And once again, I'm so sorry to all of the interpreters that kind of got fooled by the representation they were getting in this. At least my friends weren't in it. I have a few interpreter friends in New York. I'm so glad you weren't in the show, because I'd be worried. Alright, yeah, so let me know what you thought of the show. And down below we can have a little bit of discussion. If you would like more extra and exclusive content on deaf awareness and what have you, I do have a Patreon page. So if you would like to become a member there, there's multiple tiers for multiple types of perks and things like that. I would very much appreciate it, especially if Marvel and Disney decide to come after my butt and I need to pay them. Probably not, but if you have not yet, consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this, and I will see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye.